Hello everybody and welcome to Karen's Stamp Pad. My name is Karen. Today I would like to do a shaker card for you, and it is using the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper along with the Snowflake Wishes Stamp set and dies. Stay with me and we'll get right to it. Before I start, I just wanted to say that if you don't already know, Stampin' Up! Has a couple of things on the go. If you wanted to sign up and be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator to get a discount on future products, they have the starter kit, which is normally $135, no shipping and no taxes, and you get $165 worth of product. But for this month only, they are doing $165 worth of product for only $100. So now is the time to sign up and get a deal on your products. Stampin' Up! Also has a sale coming up from the 16th to the 18th on things like stamp sets and ink pads and cardstock. So you might want to head to my Stampin' Up! Webpage and check that sale out. So I think that's all the news that I have for now. Let's get stamping. So I'm just going to bring this in, and this is not quite finished. I didn't put my sentiment on it, but this is what we are going to be doing. So you can try different cardstock. That's fine. Or different, designer series paper. You don't have to use this one. This card is just like the designer series paper. So the first thing that we're going to do, is we're going to go over the pieces that you need. So I cut a piece of card base. This is Blushing Bride cardstock, and it is cut at 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4.25. And then the next piece is going to be, you will need a piece of designer series paper, and I went with the silver and the white stripes out of the Whimsy and Wonder, and that measures 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. That will be the next layer. And then I cut a piece of silver foil to go along with that because of the silver in there. And the silver foil is 1 5/8 by 3 7/8. And a piece of basic white cardstock, 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. And another piece of designer series paper. This one also has the silver and it has the white, so it goes quite nicely, and it is 4 6/8 by 3 1/2. 3.5. Okay, so that one goes there. And then, of course, your piece for the inside of your card, which is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. So we'll just set that aside. Okay, let's get to assembling. So I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to burnish the edges of the card base so it lays down a little flatter, easier to glue on. Okay. Then I'm going to take my designer series paper, which I've cut just a little bit smaller, and I'm going to attach that. Now, I am going to use my Stamp and Seal. It's a double-sided printer tape. Just and I'm going to line it up so that there's just a little bit of an edge, a border all the way around. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to take my silver foil and do exactly the same thing. Okay, let's put this into a stamp. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of white, which you can see is cut just a little bit bigger than the designer series paper, and I am going to adhere that together. Now I'm going to take this and I am going to put a little more Stamp and Seal on it. Okay, there we have it. So I'm going to bring in, this is the Snowflake Wishes Stamp set. I'm going to use the sentiment out of this, which I'll do a little bit later, and the dies that, coordinating dies, come with some snowflakes, and then there is this die that I'm going to use to cut the center out of this piece. So, because of the magic of video, let me show you the finished product. So what I need to do is bring in my take your pick tool and cut, or sorry, poke out the pieces that didn't come out on their own. A little time consuming, but I believe I showed you last week the baby boss, as we're calling it, and how to use it to cut out or die cut. Okay. Use my tweezers, but stamping yesterday, and I think they're over on the other table. So okay, oh, one more. I just don't want to glue it all down and have those still in there. Okay, there we go. I think we have it. So that's in the garbage. Let's bring this back in. And what I'm going to do is we have strips of double-sided adhesive, and it helps pop it up. So I am going to pull one of these off. case. And, ooh, I need a window sheet. Let me just grab that. Almost forgot. And let's see, I need to cut that down. So you want your window sheet a little bit smaller than your outside. Perfect. There we go. Don't forget that. So your window sheet is going to be a little bit smaller than this piece of designer series paper and cardstock. So let's put that on. Okay. Without this window sheet, all of our little embellishments that we put in there to shake it will fall out. So, all right, there we go. Now, see, now we're going to take this adhesive strips and we are going to put them on. Now you want to get them as close as possible, not leaving any gaps, otherwise the smallest of the embellishments in there will come out the side. I've had that happen. Lost all my shaker stuff. See, these aren't as hard as they seem or as they look. They're actually a lot of fun to make. All right. So there we have it. Okay, let's bring this back in. Now what I'm using are, I have some subtle shimmer sequins, and these are from the Peaceful Cabin suite, and they have some silver and some white and iridescent sequins. And I have some from last year. I have some snowflake sequins. So I can just go ahead and I can just put those in. But what I've also done is I've pre-cut some snowflakes. The Snowflake Wishes Stamp set has snowflakes, so I've taken the smallest ones. I also have other snowflake dies, and I thought I would put some of those in, and I used the shimmering white paper that Stampin' Up! Sells, and I've cut out a few of these. Put in. Okay, I've got a couple more. Okay. Now, normally what I do so it doesn't cling is, we no longer sell it, but Embossing Buddy for heat embossing, I would just rub that along there so that there's no static cling, because things will stick to it. But the nice thing about this is you want the some of these to actually stick so they don't all settle on the bottom if you're showing your card, standing it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place my snowflakes and my sequins. I'm going to take some of those, put them in, put in a few snowflakes. And then I'm going to take the rest of the paper off the adhesive so we can adhere it. It's just a little piece. Okay. There we go. Okay, decide which way you want it to sit, and let's see if I can center this. Here we go, and just push it down. Look at that. There we go. And you can see the snowflakes in the background. We have a little bit of an edge around each piece. Okay, let's close these up before there's an accident. Okay, put that away. So now all we have left is to decorate the inside of our card and put our sentiment on. So I'm going to use the Snowflake Wishes for a Merry Christmas from the stamp set, and a few of the snowflake stamps for the inside, I think, just as a finished look. And same for the envelope. Okay, let's just start with this. And I thought what I would do, just kind of in keeping with the silver and white theme, I'm going to heat emboss. So I'm going to use, this is Versamark ink, and it is a clear ink, and it's extra sticky. So I don't want any static on this, so I'm just going to use my embossing buddy. And because we no longer sell it, you can use dryer sheets. Use dryer sheets, save it, and that helps. And I'm going to stamp that with my Versamark. A little crooked, so a nice thing about having another side. Can't see. All right, that'll do it. Bring in my tray. And I have shimmering white, shimmer white. So this is white and silver mixed. Put that out of the way. Okay, bring in my heat tool. And this would probably show up on a little bit better on a darker color. I would have done this ahead of time, but I was running out of time getting on here today. So last week I was telling you that we probably have some puppies, and we do. We had 5 beautiful puppies born in the morning after my last Facebook Live. And yeah, now, let's see. Don't think I'm too crazy about that. Probably would have done better with some silver, but I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to cut a little bit off. So you could just take white and you could use the Blushing Bride, or you can use silver or just plain white. But so we had 3 girls and 2 boys, and there was no run to the litter, and there was no really big one. They were all about a pound and yeah, about a pound, just over, and pretty. The first one was born at 4:38 a.m. The last one was born at 8:08. So, but we were up all night. She was in labor. Okay. So I'm just going to attach that. And then what I think I'll do is just use some dimensionals and pop it up on the back. But I think I'm going to take some other snowflakes and maybe put them on the front. Okay, I can hear the puppies in the other room. Some of them are pretty vocal. Okay, so I've pre-cut some of these. Let's see how they look first. Didn't want some too big. Now, let's see. Yeah. I think one right there. And we'll just maybe one right there. That should be enough. Don't want to overdo it. So take my liquid glue and put some on there. Now you don't want a lot because you don't want it squishing out. So just make a few dots to hold it down. Okay. So my friends and I are having a whimsical tree, so using this designer series paper card class coming up on the 20th, so next Saturday from 2 to 4. If anybody is interested in joining us, you are more than welcome. Just give me a shout. It's $25 and you get the cardstock and designer series paper and all the embellishments to make 4 cards. So there's 4 of us that are hosting this, and we've each designed a card, and you get everything you need to put those cards together for $25. If you want to bump it up for a $30 order, at Karen's Stamp Pad using this host code. You can get the stamp set for this, and you get the kits for the cards for free. So, you know, for an extra $5, I think that's a pretty good deal. And we have some fun. There's going to be some door prizes. And so please, you know, reach out and get on the list. So, all right. So there we have that. I'm going to just take my dimensionals and I'm going to put a few on. And I'm not going to put many because, you know, I may decide to go back and make a darker sentiment. But there we go. That actually works. So now, just to finish it up, we're going to do the inside of the card. Grab a few blocks and a couple of stamps. And I'm going to do it in, here's the inside. Bring in my little sheet and grab some Blushing Bride. Okay. Okay. Maybe this guy. There we go. And I will do exactly the same thing to my envelope so it looks finished. Let's see. That's a little too fast. Oh, now I look like I'm seeing double. Okay. I probably will do a different envelope. Not liking that. But let's just take this and attach it to the inside of our card. You could put another sentiment if you want. Let's see what else there is in this. Yeah, you could put May Your Season sparkle. In the coldest moments of the year, my heart is warm because you're near. So, there we go. We are finished. So what do you think? I think that turned out really well. It's probably a little hard to see because of all the silver and then the glare, but yeah, there's our card. So thank you for joining me, and I hope to stamp with you on Saturday. So please, you know, come out. We have a great time together, and yeah. So that's it for today, and I will see you next Thursday for another card or project. And yeah, and before I go, I just want to say to all of the military personnel, because today is Remembrance Day, thank you for your service. And yeah, my dad was in the armed forces. He lost his battle with cancer 14 years ago, and almost 14 years ago. But you know, he he did his time too. So thank you, everybody, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.